My name is Emily Carter, and the morning my own family decided to stand beside my abuser instead of me began quietly, with sunlight spilling across glossy travel brochures spread out on my kitchen counter. For months, my parents had been talking about a healing family getaway. Flights booked. A beachfront resort reserved. Guided tours and private excursions planned down to the smallest detail. I paid for all of it. Every dollar. I never announced it. I didn't want credit. I wanted one calm memory after years of living inside emotional wreckage. Then my sister called. She said it casually, like she was talking about switching seats at dinner. "We're bringing your ex-husband. We'll just give your spot to Michael." My stomach dropped so fast I had to sit down. Michael, the man who screamed at me behind closed doors, who slammed doors inches from my face, who left marks I learned to cover with long sleeves and silence. The man I barely escaped. The man my body still tensed up remembering. And my family had invited him back into my life. I said no. Calmly. Carefully. My parents didn't pause for even a second. "Don't be dramatic. Families forgive. Your sister deserves to be happy. You're making this harder than it needs to be." So I refused to go. They replaced me without hesitation. That night, I sat alone at my table, staring at confirmation emails. Every flight, every hotel room, every excursion, every private service, each one billed under my name. My hands shook at first. Then they steadied. If they wanted my seat to go to my abuser, they could have everything that came with it. I opened my laptop. One click, flights canceled. Another, resort reservations canceled. Emails began pouring in. Somewhere thousands of miles away, a dream vacation started collapsing before anyone realized I had acted. By morning, my inbox looked like a battlefield. Dozens of messages stamped confirmed. Cancellation. Each one felt like something heavy lifting off my chest. I sat there, coffee untouched, watching the trip I had funded disappear line by line. Then my phone rang. My mother was first. She wasn't scared. She was furious. "What did you do?" she snapped. "I canceled what I paid for," I said evenly. Silence. Then, "That's cruel." "Okay," I replied. My sister called next. She laughed at first, until she realized I wasn't bluffing. "You can't just take this away from us." "I already did," I said. The family group chat exploded. Guilt, threats, pleading, blame, all wrapped in the same entitlement that had suffocated me for years. That afternoon, my father showed up without warning. He stood on my porch like a judge waiting to deliver a verdict. "You're overreacting," he said. "Michael has changed." Something inside me went completely still. I closed the door. Then I opened my laptop again. Hotel canceled. Private tours canceled. Personal chef canceled. Every contract was in my name. And for the first time since my divorce, I didn't feel small. I felt certain. My family thought this was about a vacation. They had no idea it was about my life. That evening, the house felt unnaturally quiet, like it was holding its breath with me. I sat on the living room floor surrounded by relics of my old marriage. Photos, letters, court papers, therapy notes I'd shoved into boxes hoping I'd never need to read again. Every memory of Michael felt louder now that my family had tried to pull him back into my world. My phone kept vibrating on the coffee table. My sister's name again and again. I finally answered. "You're destroying everything," she cried. "Mom hasn't stopped shaking." I stared at the wall where I used to hide when he screamed. "Maybe you should have thought about that before replacing me with my abuser." She went silent, not remorseful, just stunned that I wouldn't soften. Then my mother called. Her voice was thinner now, brittle. "Emily, please. People are starting to ask questions." "Good," I said quietly. After hanging up, I opened my laptop one final time. Insurance canceled. Transportation canceled. Resort deposit refunded. Each confirmation felt like snapping off another invisible chain. At midnight, my sister texted one sentence. "He already booked his ticket." I stared at the screen, then forwarded her a single email, proof that every reservation was mine. Her typing bubble appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. And in that silence, I knew the next knock on my door wouldn't be gentle. At dawn, the doorbell rang before sunrise. My parents stood together on the porch, my mother pale, my father rigid, both wearing the calm of people used to being obeyed. My sister waited in her car, pretending not to watch. I let them in. They spoke immediately, overlapping, urgent, polished. Fix this. Undo it. Be reasonable. I didn't argue. Instead, I placed a thick folder on the table. Invoices. Receipts. Contracts. All under my name. My mother's hands trembled as she flipped through the pages. My father read slower and slower. You told everyone you paid, I said softly. No one answered. My phone buzzed. Another cancellation confirmation lit up the screen. My mother flinched. I'm not angry, I said. I'm done pretending my safety is negotiable. My sister finally stepped inside, eyes red. You're tearing this family apart. I met her gaze. No. You did that when you chose him over me. The silence was sharp. What do you want? My father finally whispered. I looked at the empty place where my seat on that trip had been. My place back, I said. I slid one more email across the table. Subject, refund initiated. Their faces collapsed. The trip was gone. And so was my silence. They stayed longer than they meant to. My mother folded the same tissue again and again like she could erase decades with it. My father finally sat, not as a patriarch, but as a man realizing how deeply he had failed. My sister broke first. I'll uninvite him. I'll call Michael right now. We can fix this. No, I said. She froze. This isn't a negotiation. My safety isn't a favor you grant when it's convenient. Another refund email flashed on my phone. What do you want from us? My father asked. I thought about all the years I spent explaining my pain. I want you to believe me the first time, I said. Not after I burn everything down. Then I slid a single page across the table. A boundary agreement. No contact with Michael. No pressure on me. No secrets disguised as family loyalty. They signed before they left. Quietly. That night, I sat alone watching rain streak down the windows, feeling lighter than I had in years. The next morning, my parents returned humbled. Coffee. Pastries. An apology that didn't defend itself. My sister stayed away. She sent one message, I'm ashamed. I need time. I let her have it. Days later, I booked a small solo trip. No luxury. Just mountains, air, and silence. At the airport, standing alone, suitcase light, shoulders relaxed, my phone buzzed. We love you. We're trying. I believed it, not because it was perfect, but because it was different. As the plane lifted, I realized the truth. I hadn't lost my family. I had taught them how to treat me. And for the first time in years, that felt like freedom.